Hi Flosstube, it's me, Caitlin. This is Cats and Horror and Stitching. This is episode, I think episode 17 of my Flosstube. And yeah, welcome back. It's been a while. It's been over a month, so sorry about that. The summer just completely got away from me, and yeah, I just didn't get around to filming again for a while. It's been a busy summer. It's been a really nice summer. So yeah, but now fall is in the air and I'm excited because that means I love fall and it means Halloween's on the way. So I've got some stuff to show you. I did have a finish. I don't have it with me though because I gave it to my friend Sarah for her 40th birthday. If you follow me on Instagram, so I'm at Cats and Horror and Stitching Oh My on Instagram, and I did post a picture of the finished piece if you want to check it out there. I will link below my Instagram account if you ever want to follow me there. But yeah, so I did have one finish, and I do have a few new starts and a couple of whips. So let's get started. So I'll show you my most recent new start, which was just last night. So today is August 27th. So I guess 2 weeks ago, the Stitching Book Club on Instagram, and I don't think it's called Stitching Book Club on Etsy. They have another name on Etsy, but they started their latest SAL, which I mentioned before that I had joined. I don't have anything to show you. I didn't print it out. I have it on my phone. But it is the Anne of Green Gables SAL. So I didn't get a chance before now to start it because, like I said, that weekend I was busy. I was away. I was at my friend's birthday. And then the last couple of weeks have just been really crazy, and I've been working on other stuff. So part of the reason for the craziness is Simba. So if you follow, sorry, I'm gonna take him away from my whips for a second. If you follow me on Instagram, you also might have noticed either yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Can you hear that? I said that Simba had been missing for 2 weeks. He is back after searching for him everywhere, posting on every Facebook lost cat, lost pet site for the area. Calling the Humane Society every day, going around the neighborhood calling his name, putting out food, putting out blankets, putting out everything to try to get him to come back. Finally, on Friday night, a lady commented on one of my posts on one of the Facebook groups saying, "I think I found your cat." And I went, and it was him. So he is back. He is making that yowling noise. He's a little, the best word I can come up for it is discombobulated. So it turns out the lady that found him, she found him 2 weeks ago, basically the day after I last saw him, near a pretty busy street not far from my house. And she picked him up and took him home because she didn't want him to get hit by a car on the busy street, which I'm thankful for that. But then she didn't report him to anyone. She didn't report him as a found cat to the Humane Society or post that she found him. She just kept him for 2 weeks. She bought him a collar and food and kitty litter and everything she needed, and I don't know why after 2 weeks of having him she suddenly decided to get in touch with me. I'm just grateful she did, and you know, I'm just grateful that he's back, but he did spend 2 weeks in someone else's home. Who knows what she was calling him, probably calling him a different name. So he's a little on edge. So that was Friday, this is Sunday. He is better today. That yowling Friday night and most of yesterday, that was almost all day of yowling. And part of the reason is because I won't let him go outside. So he has been an outdoor cat since he is 2.5, and he's been an outdoor cat for a year and a half up until 2 weeks ago. And never any issue. He is microchipped, and he never really strayed far. He would go out, there's kind of like a little sort of 6 foot wide, 1 block long green space behind our house, and he would go in those trees, but he never missed a meal. It was come in, have breakfast, have a nap, go out, come back for dinner, go out for a bit, come back, nap, go out, come back for breakfast. Like, that's why after a day when he didn't come home, I was like, okay, this is really strange. That's not like him. And it turns out he didn't have the option to come home because someone took him to the other side of the city and kept him in their 18th floor apartment. But yeah, so he has been an outdoor cat for half of his life, and he is not happy about staying inside. And I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to let him be an outdoor cat or not. I know after Penny passed away, I said I didn't want to discuss, the merits of indoor versus outdoor cats. And I still don't want to get into that because I think it is a personal cat owner choice. I do like having outdoor cats. I trust them. I know bad things can happen. The biggest reason why I'm reconsidering letting him outside is because of my kids. They've already lost Penny this summer, and our dog passed away of old age, but he passed away this year as well. So that's a lot for 2 little kids to deal with. And me. I mean, I obviously would be very upset as well if anything happened to Simba, but I know Simba. Regardless of whether I decide to let him be an outdoor cat or not, everything I read online about bringing home your cat after sorry, it's gonna be like this for most of the video. Everything I read online about bringing home your cat after it's been gone for a while said to keep them in for a few weeks while they get readjusted to being at home. So this is the longest that he's been inside without being able to go out since we started letting him go out. So he is not happy. He's better than he was yesterday. This is, despite the yowling right now, he actually has been okay for quite a while today, not making that noise. But now I'm sitting here near the window and he's looking outside and he is not happy with me. So I'm sorry, you're gonna have to listen to this, but it's not gonna be a long video. So anyways, Simba, why don't you come over here? Oh, and he's also still adjusting to Min, the kitten, because he went missing. We'd only had her for 2 weeks when he disappeared, so he's back to kind of square one with getting used to her. So it's been a stressful weekend and couple of weeks, but we're very, very happy that he is home, and I know it could have ended very badly, and very lucky that, we ended up with him back safe and sound. So Simba, I know you're not happy. I'm sorry. Okay, so whips. As I was saying, oh, here comes Mitten. See, there's Mitten the kitten. I know, the big Simba. She just keeps going up to him, and he yowls at her. He hasn't hissed or done anything mean. He just doesn't want her to get close to him. Come here, you lie down. Yes, I know. Simba, okay. She keeps going up to him, and just the look on her face is like, I will make you love me. I will. She's not giving in, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so Stitching Book Club 2 weeks ago started their Anna Green Gables sale, and and I unfortunately couldn't start it right away, so I started it last night, finally. I said before that I wasn't sure whether I was going to actually read the book or listen to the audio. I guess I can't read while I'm, like, read while I'm stitching, but listen to the audiobook while working on it, because I have read Anne of Green Gables several times. But my friend has the movies, so I might borrow the movies at some point and do that. So anyways, so I did have this, already had this nice yellow Aida, 14 count Aida that I got from 123Stitch on Etsy. I got this a few years ago, or a couple years ago. It's nice. It's just a pale yellow, and they suggested some kind of a yellow. So yeah, so I started with the green. I was not prepared at all. I haven't gone out and actually bought all of the floss that I needed. I sort of on a whim last night decided to pull it out and get it started, because I do want to get the outside, like the first portion, done before the next comes along. I would like to not be horribly behind in this stitch along. So I don't have all the colors I need, or at least I couldn't find them last night. There is a good chance that the colors I'm missing, at least some of them, might be in other projects, and so I'm gonna have to search through and see if I can find them. But I did have the green, which was the main color of the border, so that was good. So I got to start that, and I have the other green for the border and some of the blues. So yeah, so it's just starting the border. Worked on that a little bit. Did not watch Anne of Green Gables because I don't have the DVDs. I watched another movie called House of the Devil. Obviously not really at all related to Anne of Green Gables, but it was a pretty good movie. So if you're looking for a movie to watch, it was on Shudder, and yeah, it was good. About the satanic panic in the 80s. So that was New Start 1. We're going backwards because this is the most recent, and I have a couple of other new starts. So another new start. I think the last video I made, I did talk about Stitchy for Witchy, or possibly I didn't. I can't remember. But anyways, we'll pretend that I didn't because I can't remember. TheWitchyStitcher, unfortunately, about a month, maybe even more than a month ago, posted on Instagram that she's been diagnosed with a rare blood cancer and will be fighting that battle. So the group of us that started the Stitch for Sage in June for Sage from Nick Studios, who is also fighting her own cancer battle. The group of us Flosstubers, the group of us Flosstubers that were doing that Stitch for Sage are now doing Stitchy for Witchy for Meg the WitchyStitcher. And this Stitchy for Witchy was the idea of Jess, who is Crochet Stitching Smiles on Flosstube and on Instagram. And yeah, so the idea is to go to Meg's website, or if you already have one of her patterns, and work on a WitchyStitcher piece or multiple WitchyStitcher pieces. So the idea got thrown out there that many of us have many of the WitchyStitcher's pieces and have even more in our wish lists to work on. And so we will be doing, or have already been doing, the WitchyStitcher-a-thon, which is what I've been trying to do. Originally I'd said that I was going to work on a piece every day and also start 3 new pieces. I haven't gotten a chance to start all 3 of my pieces. I don't have all of the floss I need. I did, so I ordered 3 new pieces of Aida from 123Stitch. They only came a couple days into when we started this Stitchy for Witchy, so I couldn't start right away. But they did finally come, so I did start one of my pieces. So one of the pieces that I chose, I did talk about this in my last Flosstube because I can remember showing the pictures. So one of the new patterns that I bought that I decided to start first was the Trick or Treat Crew, which is a really good movie. and very Halloweeny and perfect because I'm in the Halloween mood. So this is the Trick or Treats crew. So I started this about a week ago. Like I said, I was a little late to new starts for Stitchy for Witchy, but I did start this a week ago. So I got all of the outlines done. I didn't realize how small this piece actually was, so if I had actually worked on this every single night, it probably could have been done by now because it is quite small, but I've been working on other things and busy and, you know. So, but it is really cute, and I got this nice brown Ada from 123 Stitch, and does it have a name on it? It does not. Sorry. Just a nice kind of chocolatey brown. 16 count Ada. So yeah, so this was my new start for my Stitchy Witcher-a-thon. No, Witchy Stitcher-a-thon, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, and I'm enjoying this. It has been, I don't know what it is, my eyes I think are getting worse, getting older, and also the fabric is dark and it's one size smaller than I generally do. I usually do 14 count, but I thought I'd try the 16 count, and so I've been having a little bit of a hard time finding the holes, doing a lot of this, you know, to try to see where the holes are. So yeah, but I really like it. It's very cute, and it should be done fairly quickly because it's pretty small. I do have to pick up, again with this one, I still am missing a little bit of a few colors, so I'm gonna have to go searching for them, either in my other project bags, or if they're not there, then I'll have to buy them. But that's okay, I can do that. So, also for Stitchy for Witchy, I did some work on 2 of the TheWitchyStitcher sals that I have been working on in the past. So one of them that I did some work on is my ChoppingMall. I have been working on this one for 2 years now. So here it is, the whole thing. And what I have been working on for the TheWitchyStitcher, Stitchy for Witchy, is this one right here. I think I might, no, I didn't, well, did I show this in one of a I think I had started this shop before Stitchy for Witchy started, but I hadn't done very much. So I've been working on this one, so again, I'm missing a couple of colors, but I've made a lot of progress. Got a little horse, there's Reagan from The Exorcist, Catherine Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses, and yeah, so I worked on this for a few nights in a row, and hopefully I will get it done soon. So this Stitchy for Witchy and Stitchy Witcher-a-thon is definitely helping me get some of these projects done, which is good. Hey, what are you doing? Just down here playing at my feet. And Simba's gone to sit at the back window and be angry at me. So I'll have to, once I'm done filming, I'll have to distract him. So the other piece that I was working on, ouch, don't attack my toes, for the TheWitchyStitcher is my Supernatural. Oops, I got some stray threads over here. Supernatural. And the last time you saw this, I had just finished, I believe, the Ogre. So I went over here and I finished the frame, and this is going to be the Troll. So all I've done is the frame so far, but that was something else that I did one evening working on it for the TheWitchyStitcher-a-thon, and I have to finish this last little bit of the frame. But yeah, so there we go. So that's what I've been working on for the Stitchy for Witchy. I do have 2 more patterns that I want to start. I do have the Ada came in, they came in all together, the 3. but I think originally, the night that I started the Trick or Treat crew, I'd originally wanted to start Home Sweet Home, Horror Sweet Horror, but I had almost none of the colors. I think I found like 2 of the colors I needed of the more than a dozen, so I put it aside and went for this one instead. So I'm gonna have to go through and search all of my patterns to see, or search all of my bags to figure out where all of my floss is, because I know that I have more colors than what is just in my boxes. There are a ton in all of these different bags, project bags, but you should, what are you doing? Whoa, okay, hello. But yeah, it just requires me to actually go through and search each bag individually, which is a lot of work that I don't feel like doing. So my last cross stitch whip that I have been working on, and I can't remember how much of this I showed in my last Flosstube, but I think I've made progress since the last time you've seen this. So this one I actually have a picture of. This is at the Met, my Mirabilia, it's beautiful. And this is what I've got. Oh. Ooh. All right, so I got, you know, it's hard to see because it's such a light fabric and light skin, but yeah, that's her shoulders and the top of her dress. There's some little gaps there in her skin. That's where beads are going to be. There's a whole bunch of dangly beads from her headdress. I didn't buy any of the beads initially to start, because just ordering the pattern and the fabric and the specialty floss and the regular floss was a chunk of change. So I thought I'd wait, and I've watched a lot of other people work on Mirabilias. This is my first, but a lot of them have said they didn't do the beading till the very end because it makes moving your project around in the Nerd Hoop or Q-Snap or whatever it is you use difficult, because then you can't really close it. So that seemed smart. So this is on another piece of fabric from 123 Stitch. It doesn't say who it's by, but it's 16 count opal. So I'll have to get this out and work on it again because it is very pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing her dress completed. So yeah. So that was all of my cross stitch whips. I actually have not done a ton of cross stitching in the last 2 weeks, and I'll tell you why. So a couple of days leading up to going away for my friend's birthday 2 weeks ago, one of the things I like to do when I work from home is I can crochet my granny squares for my granny square blanket. It's something easy I can do while I also work. So it's one thing I've been working on. So a couple of days before going away for my friend's birthday, I realized I finished the last of my yarn to make my granny squares, so it was time to put them together. So when I went to my friend's cottage for the night, I cannot sleep in for the life of me, and so I always bring something to do in the morning the next day, because I know I'll be up probably hours before everybody else. And so I decided that I would bring my granny squares and work on my granny square blanket. So I had bought some different yarn for connecting it, and I'd actually seen a video by Nitty Natty on YouTube on how to continuously join granny squares. So I watched that, and then I found, I think it was the actual video she references in her video, and I watched that video, and so I started doing my connecting that weekend. So that was 2 weeks ago, and it's been going so well that I've been spending almost all of my time almost all of my time crocheting and joining my granny square blanket. And so I'm going to show you what I have so far. It's getting there. It's getting very close. I can't go back far enough, but here it is. So this is the, well, this is the bottom. This is where I started, the first row. And so the yarn that I bought, I had 3 balls, I don't know what you call them. I used them all. I ended up with just over 100 squares. And then I bought a similar yarn, although it's like fluffy. You can kind of see it's super, super soft, to connect them. But the pink and purple yarn that I had, it's sort of, it was one of those like gradient yarns, colors. So it cycled through like dark purple, dark pink, light purple, and like almost whitish. I'll show you, this is one of the squares that I haven't joined. So I was trying to figure out how I should put it together, and I ended up deciding on doing it. So the bottom, this is the bottom. The bottom is dark, all the darkest squares, and then I'm transitioning as we go to the lighter and lighter squares. And so these are my last squares. I'm on my last row. See, you got over here. Gotta join this. I did realize in here somewhere I made one mistake, and there's one spot that it's not completely joined, and I'm gonna have to figure it, like after it's done, I'm gonna have to go fix that one spot. But yeah, I really like how it's, oh, is that it? No, it's not. It was really easy. Once you get it down, after I did the first 2 rows, basically, connecting the first, I did a row of 10, connecting the first 10, going back through, connecting the next 10. After I got that down, doing the rest was super, super easy. I love how it looks. It looks just amazing. I haven't woven in any of my ends from any of my squares, and I'm slightly regretting that I didn't do that. But yeah, I really like it. And it's not a huge blanket. It's gonna be like a lap blanket, but I'm really happy with it. So once, as you can see, this was the bottom, so I've gone this way. One side has the edging, the bottom doesn't, this side doesn't, and then I'm guessing once I get to the end of here, it will have this, and then we'll go around. I haven't watched the end of the video because I figured I'd wait until I got to the end of joining. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I've been spending a lot of time just working on this. So yeah, it's not going to be a huge blanket, but it's going to be a nice little lap blanket, and I foresee myself making more of these because it's kind of fun. I love cross stitching, crochet, especially making a blanket like this and making the granny squares. Once you know how to do it, you're not following a pattern or anything anymore, right? So it's a really easy thing that I can have in my living room that I can pick up really quickly, do a granny square, go do something else. If I have to stop because my kids need me, or if I just have like, I have 10 minutes before I have to leave the house to do something, I can quickly get it out and work on it. It's not like taking out a cross stitch project and making, changing thread colors and following a pattern and whatever. So I'm really enjoying this. Anyways, so maybe by the time my next Flosstube is out, this will be done. And then I may have to start something else. So we'll see. I did actually, no, that's a lie. I have started something else. I promised my another best friend who's turning 40 this year that I would make her own granny lap blanket. So I did actually start that, and I don't have the granny squares near me right now, so you can look on Instagram for the kind of yarn I'm using for that. And once I get a few, because right now it's just, I have like 6 individual granny squares done. It's not that interesting. But once I get more into that, I will bring it on here and show you what I'm working on. So, yes, my blanket. So yeah, so that's it. Haul, I don't really have any haul. I showed you I got some fabric for those projects. I haven't bought any new patterns. I have so many patterns that I do need to work on that I really should not be allowed to buy anymore. And also, starting now, it's the very end of August, for the next 2 months is Halloween season. So it is Halloween purchasing time for me. This is the time of year I kind of save my money for this time of year because I like to buy stuff for actual stuff for Halloween, costumes and decorations for Halloween, but I also like to buy like fun housewares, Halloweeny, spooky housewares for year round, fun clothes that I also wear year round, and that kind of stuff. So stay tuned to see lots of that stuff as the next 2 months goes along. Follow me on Instagram to see all of that stuff, all the stuff I'm working on. I don't really have any plans other than to continue all the stuff that I've worked on. So yeah, that's the next part of the Anna Green Gables style. I think it comes out mid-September. I think it's about a once a month thing. So yeah, so maybe by the next time, no, hopefully I'm going to try for 2 weeks again this time. My kids go back to school next week. So that should maybe give me a little bit more time to get stuff done and actually film, but we'll see. I have the best intentions, I swear. Anyways, you like my shirt? Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for watching. If you're back, if you've watched me before, thank you for coming back. If you're new, I hope you enjoyed it. And like, subscribe, drop me a comment. What are you working on for this spooky season? And are you working on any styles? Are you working on this WitchyStitcher or Stitch for Sage? Let me know in the comments. And have a great rest of your summer. I can't believe the summer is almost over. It's crazy, it went by so fast. So take care and happy stitching. Bye.